Hey guys, Nomine here. Welcome to my complete quick little Kingsmarch guide. Basically, we're going to be going over exactly how the town mechanic works and like the upgrade priority you should have and how basically all the resources work. I'm going to be kind of taking like a quick little deep dive into each of like the different camps that the town has available, how you should upgrade them and all that good stuff. So let's just like get started and get right into it. So one of the major things introduced in this league is gold. Gold is used as a currency in Kingsmarch, as it says here. Gold is used to hire recruits, keep your town running, gamble at the black market, use the currency exchange. You need to make sure you have gold in your treasury to keep your town running and keep paying your workers wages. As you can see here, my town is running and the wages per hour is 43,396. My treasury only has 24,947 gold, and as you can see in live, it's like counting down and it says my treasury will be empty in 1 hour and 11 minutes, and the seconds counting down. You add gold to your treasury from your own character's inventory, like that, and then you can also remove gold also if you choose to do so. Once this treasury runs out, your town basically stops producing resources, stops mining, stops mapping, stops disenchanting, smelting, and it stops any shipment or trade routes basically right in their tracks. If you have services running and they're going to be done with their work, they stop deducting wages. So basically any workers that you have idling, basically like if they're like done like smelting all the ores, or they're done mining all the ores that you have marked on your maps, or if your mappers are done running all the maps that you've put in the map device, basically the workers, they will not consume any more gold if they're done with their jobs, is basically the TLDR of that. You also have Faustus the Financer. He offers a black market. You can pick multiple bases, basically get like a random base. Fun fact, I got this nice claw, which I'm still using to this day because I've just been too lazy to upgrade it. But it was a pretty decent claw for like day 2 of the league, and I got it from the black market by just like using this option right here, random claw. This can also give you unique items. Maybe I'll do like a mass gamble with this later in the league, so stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Rolf the Recruiter, basically this is how you recruit your workers. Workers have anywhere from like rank 1 to all the way to rank 10, I believe is the max. Basically, the higher the worker rank, the more efficient they are at their job. It is a pretty big increase from rank to rank, so you always want to make sure you have the highest tier workers based on the job that you're doing. Workers with multiple jobs here, their wage per hour is based on like their highest tier skill. What I mean by that is mapping and disenchanting is these jobs require a higher wage essentially. This is like the perfect example here. As you can see, this worker is a rank 1 miner and a rank 5 mapper, so their total wage is 567 an hour because it is only using the rank 5 mapping wage. If you look down here, we have a rank 4 miner, and their wage is only 36 an hour. So you kind of see how that works. So if you're looking for a high-ranking miner, you probably want to just like keep rerolling and just like pick something like this, rank 6 miner, only 105 an hour. But again, that's still being overridden by the level rank 1 mapper because mappers are just like generally way more expensive. So for example, right here, you have a rank 7 farmer, which is their wage is 315 an hour. And then if you look at the rank 6 farmer here, their wage is 1,652 an hour. It is calculating the wage based on the highest rank, highest basically skill in the game, which is basically mapping, that's what it's using to calculate the wage per hour. Hopefully that makes sense. So when you're choosing your workers, just keep that in mind. When you upgrade your town to max, there is like the reroll with higher quality recruits. The general consensus seems to be that the reroll recruits is generally way more efficient than using the high quality recruits reroll, because you can just press this button a lot more times, and in general you'll get better results, even some rank 10 workers eventually too, if you use it enough. When you upgrade your town, you'll eventually have one of the first services you'll have access to is mining. Mine is max rank, but you want to definitely concentrate on upgrading your mining to max rank, especially if you're going to do a lot of mapping this league. The last upgrade for mining grants you gold equal to the amount of ore that you mark in the areas. So to maximize the amount of gold you get from your maps, you definitely want to rush your mining to max rank. And again, gold is very valuable. It'll help you upgrade like the other services in the town and everything like that. Also, this is where you mine the ore. You can assign your workers and everything like that. Also, from what I've heard, basically if you have multiple workers assigned to a specific ore, once they're done mining that ore, they automatically move on to any other ores that need mining also. As you can see here, I don't have any other ores marked on the map. so they're just kind of idling right now. Another side note, workers that are idling do not consume money. So again, you can see these wages here that are like, you know, $9.79 an hour. They only consume those wages when they're actually mining the ore, when they're actually working. And this applies for any service in the town, essentially. Now, the ore we mine is converted into bars at the smelter. It is always more efficient to convert your ore to bars. The reason I say that is, and we'll talk about this more in the shipment section, 1 bar is equal to 5 ore. And if for the purposes of shipping, and again, we'll talk about this in the shipping section, if a town wants 10 ore of some sort, you can just send them 2 bars instead, and that'll be equivalent to 10 ores for fulfilling that town's favor. And again, we'll talk more about this in the shipment section. But again, TLDR, convert all of your ore into smelted bars. There really isn't a downside to this. This is the RuneSmithing table right here. I haven't upgraded it to the max rank. It costs a power ruin, and power ruins I've been selling for like 3 divines each. I found multiple of these power ruins from killing bosses and doing like the shipment league mechanic and everything like that. I've just been holding off on the upgrade, but it is a very powerful tool. You should definitely have an enchant, RuneSmithing enchant on your weapon if you don't already. I'm not going to go over this right now. This is not a crafting guide, but again, you can access the crafting over here. The next building, which I recommend you sort of max out, Disenchanting. So Disenchanting is a very cool service. It allows you to turn your items into thaumaturgic dust. And again, you can see all the ranks and like basically what they grant. Also, the final rank allows you to disenchant unique equipment items. This is like the final upgrade. It costs like a lot of dust to get to this point. Being able to disenchant like your unique items gives you way more dust. And based on the rarity of the unique item, you know, the rarer the unique item is, basically the more dust you're going to get from it. So for example, this ring right here, Stormfire, is a pretty, you know, kind of rarish ring. So you get 24k dust for just like a 1x1 slot. And it's a nice like unique dump. A lot of these uniques are just like 1-2c each. So just like having something to kind of disenchant your uniques, kind of have something, instead of like them burning space in your stash tab, you can just throw them into the disenchanter and get valuable thaumaturgic dust out of him. And you know, thaumaturgic dust is used to get a lot of other buildings upgraded to like their maximum rank. So just basically rushing this upgrade after mining or something is usually very beneficial. Just got a notification that has completed one of your currency exchange orders. So this is probably a good time to briefly talk about the currency exchange. Basically, you can select what you want. Let's say I want chaos orbs, and you can sell basically anything in your stash tabs. As you can see, it's pulling data from your stash tabs so that you can just like, you know, pull orders, and it'll give you like market ratio. So basically, 1 exalt is 13 chaos. It's like live shifting, you know, it's changing live and updating live. You know, good way to like sell off like whatever access items that you have, like good way to sell off scarabs. It does cost gold to use. So right here I put some burial medallions for sale, and it just said my order has been filled, so I can just like control click this and receive all my chaos. It does cost gold to use, and the gold is scaled off of basically how many items and like the valuable. So for example, if you're trying to trade a Mirror of Calandra, it's definitely going to cost you a lot of gold, as you can see here. Farming is another mechanic that is very valuable, because shipping crops right here, for example, wheat, urgurt, blue xanthinium, corn, and pumpkin is what you can farm. So if you ship crops to other settlements via shipment, you're always going to get currency rewards back. So yeah, I mean, it's very valuable. That's why you want to upgrade your farming, and you want to make sure you have like the highest ranking farmers basically farming each of your crops and everything like that. There is like an efficient layout, like, you know, plots yield 10% increase per adjacent plot being farmed. So you want to make sure all your plots are occupied, and then 5% increased crop yield per different crop being farmed. I wanted to farm a lot of blue xanthinium, so I put these 2 in the middle here, because then they have like adjacent crops to like their bottom and to their top. I guess like if I really wanted to min-max it, I could put a different crop over here. So again, I haven't really played around with it. You could, you know, experiment with that yourself. But basically crops equal currency items once you do shipping with them. And let me just talk about mapping real quick. Basically mapping improvements. Your mappers can actually run white, yellow, red, and eventually purple maps, which are tier 17 maps. They can also run guardian maps and everything like that. Mappers are the most expensive thing to operate. Rank 10 mapper costs on average of 2,269 gold per hour. And again, I have multiple of these guys running here. Again, the higher your map rank, the more chance they have of completing or 100%ing the entire map. So as you can see here, they were only able to complete 55% of the map here. and you can apply your loot filter to these items, but sometimes these items are very well high rolled. I found some crazy items that have sold for multiple divines in my experience. As you can see, they also bring back high tier scarabs, and in some cases, they also do bring back divine orbs. I've definitely pulled a lot of divines from this league mechanic, that's for sure. And then there's the Recombinator. Again, I haven't really upgraded it to its max rank, but as you can see here, it costs a ridiculous amount of dust as you upgrade it. And also when you're recombinating an item, it costs gold and dust also. So another mechanic where gold is important. And as you upgrade the Recombinator, your basically rare modifiers are more likely to be retained, and you get perks like that. You can go to PoE Wiki and Google Kingsmarch, and it will tell you what each rank does. I just haven't been recombinating a lot of things. I just think it's like a whatever mechanic right now. I haven't really researched it a little bit yet, so that's why I just haven't really ranked it up, because I really haven't had a need for it. And now let's talk about shipping. If you want to get rewards for the crops and bars that you smelt and farm, you definitely want to upgrade your shipping to max level, because it increases ship speed. Port quotas are 50% more rewarding. Again, more is a multiplier in PoE. And then you can have up to 3 maximum ships. Now, before I talk about shipping, I do want to talk about this guide here. I saw this guide on YouTuber Raxenterex's, one of Raxenterex's videos like a few weeks ago. I still think this is a really nicely put together guide. I don't know who did it. They don't have like an author or anything on this Google sheet, so I'm not really sure who made this guide, but props to them. But I think Rax didn't know either. So I'm just kind of yoking this guide just to show you guys that this is a very useful tool if you haven't seen it already. Basically, these are the harbors that you can send shipments to. So if I go in game, if you go to shipping, these are the different harbors like Ribbonfell, Naganu, Pondium, and then Kalgur, and then Tioni. So again, these are all listed here. So if you want tattoos, you want to be targeting these harbors here. And then if you want ruins as a reward, you should be targeting Ribbonfell, Pondium, and Kalgur. And then here are all the goods that you can send to the harbors and basically what the reward here. Again, they're categorized by harbor. So if you send Crimson Iron ore to Ribbonfell, you're going to get mixed armor. If you send any crop basically to any harbor, you're just going to get currency back, which is kind of cool. Now is an important time to talk about thaumaturgic dust and its multiplier. As you can see here, sending 55 dust with any... So if you add 55 dust to your shipment, no matter what items you're sending, it's going to be a 2x multiplier to like your rarity and quantity basically. If you send 550 dust, it's going to be a 2.5x multiplier. And then if you send 8,000 thaumaturgic dust, it's going to be a 3x multiplier. Now, these are just approximate numbers on the PoE Wiki. It says 8,104 is a 3x multiplier, which is basically 200% more loot. And again, you can see right here, these are more approximate numbers. 8,000 is a breakpoint here because you really don't want to be attaching more than 8,000 dust to a shipment. As you can see here, to get like the next breakpoint, which is 3.5x multiplier, only 0.5 more. You need 208,000 dust, which is like a huge jump from 8,000. And if you wanted a 4x multiplier, you would need 8,886,112 dust. So again, this scales very badly past 8,000 thaumaturgic dust. So to be safe, just like send like 8,100 or like 8,200 dust with each of your shipments to make sure you're getting the most efficient use out of your thaumaturgic dust. You can kind of go through this spreadsheet yourself, but basically the TLDR is send crops to any port if you want currency back, like Divine Orbs or Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Make sure you're sending at least 8,100 according to the wiki, or like 8,000 dust. Doesn't really matter. You're going to be around that multiplier. You can send 9,000 just to be ultra safe, I guess, if you're like super paranoid like me. But again, these are just approximations. Yeah, and then if you wanted like armor, like jewelry, belts, and everything like that, you can kind of like get more specific on this here. I have tested this. So I know the spreadsheet is basically on the dot of what you're going to get back. Versium bars are very nice because depending on what port you're sending them to, they can give you catalyst fossils, scarabs, maybe even higher value scarabs here, splinters, and then, random uniques, which could be cool. One more mechanic I want to talk about. There's something called favor resources on each harbor. So essentially, favor resources act as like a more multiplier also. So pumpkin, what if you send pumpkins? Basically, it's going to be, your pumpkins are going to be treated as 45% there's going to be like a 45% multiplier essentially from what I understand. So always aim for fulfilling like the favored resources orders. They will definitely help you out, you know, and getting like the most bang for your buck essentially. So you kind of can like min max it and everything like that. And also right here, you can see right here like crimson iron, and you see like the bar and you see like the ore, which means they want the crimson iron ore. But the cool thing is you can send bars. As I said earlier, you can 5 times the value of your ore if you turn it into a bar, because 1 bar equals 5 ore. So there's no reason to just like stock up on iron ore. You always want to turn it into bars. So for example here, I would send them crimson bars instead of crimson iron, because bars will fulfill this favorite resource needs a lot faster than just like if you send them ore. So there's no reason to hold on to your ore, guys. Always turning it into bars before you send it off to, in a shipment, essentially. I hope that makes sense. And basically how shipments work is you select the port here. You can select whatever port you want. And then what I like to look at is like their favorite resources. So they want blue xanthinium, corn, and vericium. So what I do is then I go to vericium. I only send them a little bit. Again, I only have 517 vericium bars. You can see the total resources you have in your town. And then they wanted blue xanthinium and corn. So again, I want this to be like a pretty nice sendback. So what you can do is just kind of send them like, you know, 10,000 of each item for right now. Oops. And then you can just like copy paste these numbers too, which is like super nice. And then you can send them corn if you like. So let's see where the corn. Oh, okay, this is corn, and then blue xanthinium. So you do this. And here's the important part with the thermocharging dust. So again, you just want to send like 8,200 dust to have like that 3x multiplier to your shipment. Again, look at this. It's a 1.2 value. I have 1.1 million dust in my stockpile. So again, so right now the shipment value is 1.2k. 1.2 million, I mean, excuse me. And then if I up the shipment to send 1 million dust, it only goes up by a few 100,000. So again, you can see it's very inefficient to send like 1 million dust. You always just want to aim for like 8,200 in my opinion. You can follow the wiki if you like. If you go to the wiki, you can just aim for this number right here. This is what the wiki says. So 8,104 to get that 200% more multiplier to everything essentially. And of course, support that you're shipping to, if they have favorite resources, that'll also be multiplied more on their end essentially also. So this will bring me back. So this shipment of like corn, blue xanthinium, and vericium bars will give me the most bang for my buck essentially. So also, you noticed earlier there is a risk bar here. Basically what this means is this is a chance that your shipment will encounter unforeseen outcomes. So like losing your resources, all that good stuff, you know. Higher level of shipping ranks prevent this risk multiplier from happening, or like, you know, reduce the chance that it will happen. They can still happen even if you have 0 risk. I think there's a list of risk on the PoE wiki if you want to check it out, but if you've been playing the league mechanic, you probably encountered some of the risks already. And yeah, and that's it, guys. I just wanted to make a quick little guide on the league mechanic. If you're, you know, if you're new to the game, if you're just jumping into the league, that's kind of basically how the town works. Hopefully I covered everything. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything, or, you know, if there's something inaccurate that I said in my video. I apologize, I'm not perfect. And yeah, and I do stream every day at twitch.tv/nominds. Link in the description. We go live about 8 p.m. Central, so, you know, come stop by, say hi, or flame me for my guides, whatever you want. And yeah, guys, that's it. You know, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and no mind out. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.